Welcome one, welcome all, and welcome to a Tuesday Tear Up. This week it's back to your favourite member of Unleash The Ghouls, Kofi. No, I'm only joking, it's me, Stuart, and this week I'm tearing up one of my all-time favourite urban legends, the Beijing Ghost Bus. Before I jump in, if you're liking this or any other content we produce, please do consider subscribing so you can stay up to date with everything we release. Plus, for every 10 subscribers we get, I reward Connor and Kofi with a cookie. That's literally all they get, so be kind and don't let them starve. Anyway, back to the good stuff. Like so many urban legends, the story of the Beijing Ghost Bus begins on a dark, stormy night. This is way back in 1995 in, well, as the name suggests, Beijing. The story tells of a bus that's travelling very late at night, the last one of the evening in fact. Two men urgently flag the bus down from the side of the road. The bus driver's a bit wary as they're not at an actual bus stop, but assuming something's wrong, he stops and agrees to let them get on the bus. As it turns out, there's actually three men. One of them's being propped up by the other two, and for some reason, they're all dressed up like they're from some ancient dynasty that started around 1644. All three men have a very unnatural pale complexion, and the third man has long hair draped over his face. The bus driver must have seen some weird shit in his life, because he doesn't question it, and apparently just assumed they were actors on their way home from work, so shrugged it off and just carried on as normal. As the route continued, the bus slowly emptied, and it gets down to just a younger man and an elderly person. The older person gets a bit rowdy, and this being later on a weekend, he's probably had a couple of cheeky wines and starts a fight with the younger lad. He claims the younger bloke nicks his wallet and forces him and the youngster off at the next stop to get the police involved. When they get off, he suddenly changes his tune and apologises immediately to the younger guy, explains how it was just an excuse to get him off the bus for safety, as he'd noticed the three men dressed in their ancient outfits were floating and clearly were of some demonic nature. They eventually worked their way to the police station, but the police just piss themselves laughing at their ridiculous story. However, a few days later, the police actually find the bus miles away from its normal route, with a few decomposing bodies left inside. There's a few variations of this story, like what number the route was, if the bus was found with bodies, or if the police had even found it at all. One even says that the tank was filled with blood instead of petrol. Alternate versions seem to substitute the three phantom men for a murderous female ghost in a red dress, and sometimes bus numbers seem to vary. Commonly cited routes here are 302, 330 and 375 for some reason, but no matter which version you choose to believe, personally I think this is another real clear example of a story serving as a cautionary tale, one to teach the kids and hope they take away that overall message being portrayed. This time the tale teaches of stranger danger late at night, especially when travelling alone, and if you ignore that message being taught, the story warns of the potential dangers that can await you. I'm sure we can all agree it's a good lesson to be taught. But the thing that I really love about the Beijing Ghost Bus story is that it's a tale we can all relate to in some capacity. At the end of the day, it's a morality lesson that our parents will have tried to teach us all, and we've very likely experienced it. At least everyone over a certain age will have, where they've had to travel home late at night and been left to make that journey alone. For me, most of those times I've been cutting the rug, throwing some shapes, torpedoing a blue WKD and doing a couple of cheeky sambucas with the lads before I've realised that I've actually spent my taxi money on some shots for strangers and I'm having to do the walk of shame home. For the rest of you, I hope you've been behaving yourselves and not acting like a total prick, but when it does happen, naturally you become more aware of your surroundings, right? Hearing sounds you'd not normally hear and seeing shadows dancing around out the corner of your eye. Your imagination goes into overdrive, and these heightened instincts can leave you with a fear of impending doom clenching tightly down in the pit of your stomach. Whether or not the Beijing bus story is real or fake, this story is a great reminder of potential dangers and one that we should all take notice of, and we should all take care of ourselves and be on the lookout for potential dangers to our health, much more than we probably do. But what do you lot reckon? Do you reckon this is a good tale just to remind everyone to be a bit more cautious, especially late at night or when you're alone, or a real tale of three men from a time past who just wanted to fuck up a few public transport users? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, Ghoul Gang, I'm Stuart from Unleash The Ghouls, and as ever, thanks for listening.